This acupressure webinar. I'm going to teach you so much. You will be, I think, amazed. I'm sure this is going to be about an hour or so. So I hope that you'll take some deep breaths, stretch up. Here's the first point I want to show you, though. It's a great point for relieving shoulder pain and tension. It releases the trapezius muscle. Now, a lot of massage therapists know that there's tension right here, and once you know this point, you don't have to give it that much pressure. So, it's really, this point actually is beneficial for not only relieving stress, burnout, and just like, oh man, I stressed out. It helps to release that, and all you have to do is curve your fingers. Go ahead, do it with me. Curve your fingers like this, like a hook, and hook on to the point. First rub and feel. Where is it tightest? Where is it sorest? And it is on both sides, but do one side at a time. So, I'm going to give you an actual trick in 1 second. What I mean by trick is a really excellent way to release these points. So this point is not only for stress and shoulder tension, releases the traps, the trapezius muscle, but it also fosters greater awareness in your body. You know, that is a huge asset for us to be able to know and understand life better, to really listen to our body's intuition, okay? Also, this point traditionally is used for increasing circulation. Many times when I hold it on myself, I can feel like, whoa, I can just be holding it, not pressing super hard. Now, this on an acupuncture or an acupressure chart is on the gallbladder meridian, so it's GV21. There it is. It's on the top of the shoulder, about 2 finger widths from your neck. Okay, and there's the point. And what I want you to do is to use all of your fingertips so you can't miss it. If you were using a needle and you did this point, you would have to be very precise, right? Because the needle is very thin. But your fingertips, and especially when you gang up all 3 of them, like this. Okay, I got my middle finger on the point, what I think it is, but I've got these 2 fingers supporting the area. Okay, great. Now, what I was talking about, a trick, isn't a trick. It's a skill. And it's one of the secrets of knowing acupressure. And that is, there are certain acupressure points, if you know acupressure in a skillful way, that release other acupressure points. I'll call them point combos. So, this point is released actually. Let's see, I'm going to put the dot on for you. Right here in the center of your upper arm. Do you see that? Okay, here's my deltoid muscle here, which if I was muscular, you would see definition. It comes to a point, and at the very side of your arm, if you rub, go ahead, do it with me. Rub up and down like this to feel, is it a little bit over here, a little bit over here, a little bit here? You'll know you're on the point because it will be sensitive, sore. Or it may even, when you press right on it, you'll feel like, whoa, there's a referred pain that goes down or through your, everybody's different where it refers to, depending upon your body. So hold this point as you hold the top of your shoulder, and you hold this point right here. Okay, and as you do that, okay, you've got one side holding this point, and the other side holding the top of the shoulder. Fingers are curved, and take deep breaths. That's what I would call easy technology. This is the technique, which is to curve your fingers and to breathe. So we're connecting 2 points to release the shoulders. That's great. Now that we did this side, go ahead and switch and do your other side. Find the point by rubbing. It might be a little bit farther back on you, and you find, oh, that's where my tension is. This particular point is indicated by the tension. It is right underneath that tension that almost everybody has. So feel it might be a little closer in, it might be a little bit farther back. This point particularly varies slightly. Now you thought, oh, I've got to be right on these acupressure points. That's not true. Everybody's anatomy and the way they hold themselves is different. So you have to feel for the points, rub. Now feel for what? One of two things. Either tension, or you're rubbing and goes, ooh, I feel a knot there. Okay, hold on it, right on it, take deep breaths. Or you'll feel a soreness, a sensitivity, or even when you press it, pain. Now, if you feel pain, you're pressing too fast and too hard. I want you to understand that. Okay, so I wanted to start in a practical way. My name is Michael Reed Gach, and my last name rhymes with the composer Bach, so it just has a G, Gach. And I want to share with you the secrets of acupressure. What are they, and what do you need to know? Especially, what do you need to, what do you need to know in order to work with the inner healing world of the human body? Whether you're working on another person or you're working on yourself, what do you need to know? I'm going to give you specific skills and what I would call the secrets of traditional Chinese medicine, hands-on. Okay, and I've already given you one, which is one point can release another, so that there's point combinations. Now, what is this based on? It's based on the next secret, which is our body's energy system. Our body's energy system flows through specific pathways that are called meridians. These are, often we call them in acupressure, just for short, we call them the flows. It's the flow of the healing energy. And that's been mapped out over generations and generations in Asia, in China, in Japan, and Korea. They've mapped out these meridians, these flows of energy. And there's certain places where this energy gets blocked. That gets to the next secret. But I want you to know that the flow of this energy, now I'm going to describe this first secret. It's not only goes through specific pathways, but it governs all the functions of your body. Now take a deep breath. All the functions of your body. The vascular system, the endocrine system, the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system, your digestive system, the sexual reproductive system. All of these systems, according to traditional Chinese medicine, are governed by the flow of this healing energy that flows through the points and meridians. Now that is, in a nutshell, why acupuncture and acupressure, which use the same points, is so effective. Just by knowing that first secret. The second secret I'd like to share with you is, it really has to do with the nature of a point. Just knowing exactly what a point is will give you this secret. An acupressure point, in its definition, if you're making notes now, this is the time to write this down. An acupressure point has a high electrical conductivity at the surface of the skin. High electrical conductivity. I don't want that to go by too fast. In other words, when you have an acupressure point, like for instance, many of you know this point here, right? This point and all 365 traditional acupressure points, they have a high electrical conductivity at the surface of the skin. You can conduct healing energy through the point. And here's the other part of this secret. When you hold the point, it also opens up the flows, releases stress and tension, pain and pressure. All of that is the reason why acupressure is so effective and so important in terms of, I hope that just by learning those two secrets of acupressure, you're going to want to learn more. I mean, because if you know the secrets, you understand how all of this works. And if you understand how all of this works, you can start to visualize it. And if you can visualize it and believe in it, believe me, I didn't believe in it at first, but it just kept working. I kept holding the points, and something very amazing, astonishing happened. You see, acupressure was handed down from generation to generation. Why? Because it works. I mean, if you have a kink or you have a burn, you want to hold it. It's instinctive. And that's the next secret. You're instinctively drawn to these points. Even mosquitoes are instinctively, because an acupressure point, by definition, is based on the healing energy flow. And that at the point, I'm just showing you this point, but at all the points, at this point, there is an opening for energy to be transmitted. And if that energy flows through the point and through your body, it will promote healing. And then if you know where the meridian goes, woo, that goes into the other secret that I was just telling you. Then it opens up the function that meridian, that healing energy pathway fosters, and that healing energy pathways goes to. You see, each of the meridians, each of these pathways goes into internal organs and glands, and that's what enables us to feel so great when we release the acupressure points. Now, how do you do that? You just hold it. Now, this goes into the third secret, which is the points aren't just little dots here. The points have levels to these healing energy. Not a whole lot of teachers teach this. You know, some teachers will teach that you can tap the points. Well, that's good. You can tap any of the points. It activates the point. That's good. It taps the first level of the healing energy. And there's three basic healing levels. The first level, which is the level of the skin and the beginning of the musculature, relates to your physical body and your physical life. But when you're able to release that and go deeper, slowly, always apply the pressure slowly. That's how you get healing results. You know, the people that mash into this point, that's her, I know this point. They don't know the art of using acupressure. The art involves going into the points gradually. Why? Because of this third principle, this third secret, which is that there's three basic levels to this energy system that I'm talking about. So to really release a point, you know, once I describe this to a lot of healers and body workers, I'm like, all of a sudden, their healing work soared, which is the second level, when you go in slowly and a little deeper. If the person, or if you're ready for that level, relates more to your emotional being. It's a deeper level of your life. It's a more inner being. So that the energy flow, when you go in to that depth, actually reinforces. Again, I'm demonstrating just one point, But remember, there's 365 traditional points, and those points are on both sides of the body. So there's really over 700 traditional points, and then there are other points that the Chinese, Korean, Japanese, particularly in Asia, this was developed. But really, honestly, through my research, I found that, it's really all the ancient cultures. Because acupressure is based on instinct, we're tuned into these points on some level and doing it a little differently. There are many paths. There are many different ways to get to your destination, right? There's not just one way. And people who say, you're either on our side or you're either against me, or that's kind of, it's kind of like, oh, is the only answers in life true and false, right and wrong? There's so many shades of gray, and there's so many colors that are part of the richness of life. And when these points really release, which is the third level, that's when you experience a deeper, wondrous sense of yourself and of life. And that's what I would call a more spiritual level of releasing the acupressure points. I hope you find this exciting. This is one of the reasons why I love acupressure. It's based on traditional Chinese medicine, ancient, and it's not just physical. It relates to all of us. Some people have emotional imbalances for good reasons. And, it may be because they were traumatized. I'm sure that almost every human being, whether it was a car accident or you were really scared when you were a little girl or boy. I mean, who hasn't been? And then that scariness can fester and really come into your body, because the body is like a biocomputer. It stores information. What information? The information that you've received, your experiences in life. That is so perfect. So if a person has been abused or traumatized and they hold their acupressure points, they may start to re-experience some of it. And then they may need some support in terms of counseling or psychotherapy, and that's good. That means that the healing is happening. This is really, really a blessing. All of the points. And this is why I've studied this and focused on this for over 45 years. I started when I was 20. The math is really simple. And last month, I can't believe it myself, I don't feel it, I'm now 65. Now do the math, and he started when he was 20, now he's 60. I have been doing it for 45 years. And the truth is I love this. I love to teach it and share it. And that's why we're doing this right now. So we've covered 3 important secrets of acupressure. The fourth that I'd like to cover is that each individual has a very special depth that they need when holding the points. And it really varies from person to person. The person that I was saying, they just go in and they mash the point, they go, and people who study and do reflexology know that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because it relates really beautifully to acupressure. When you stimulate and you just go super fast and harsh onto the bottoms of the feet and other reflexology points, it can really hurt. It can be traumatic. And that's not what it's about. It's about healing and going into these areas slowly at just the right level. It's just the right level for the individual. That's the fourth secret I want to give you. So there are people, so many people, that are wonderful. and very sensitive. And they don't need pressure on the points. They need to be held and to be touched. And when they're touched, when you just touch this point, just lightly, the point will release so much better, so much stronger, and on a person who's very sensitive. And you probably know there's some people who are hypersensitive, who are, this means the person can be emotional, they can be an introvert. It means that they may have extreme sensitivity in various situations, in various relationships, and it's something to be honored. And when it's honored, it turns into intuition and body wisdom, and it's a strength. It needs to be honored. So this isn't just women. I have certain qualities, my voice. You know, I could talk like this for a long time, but you know, my voice is more soft. And there's other things about a human being that can be sensitive. So, on my body, because my body is built stocky, I like to get good at daily exercise, and so I have a musculature that doesn't just like the softness. I like deep pressure on certain points. So you got to pay attention, not only from person to person, but from point to point, how much pressure the point and the person needs. Okay, I'm going to give you the fifth secret. Let's take a deep breath. Because the breath opens up the energy that actually flows through your points. It's the source of the life force. That's the fifth secret. When you breathe deeply, while you hold acupressure points, you know what will happen? You will fortify your body with greater energy. That energy will circulate through your energy pathways called meridians. And then what happens is that there's going to be greater awareness, greater energy flow, and it's really fantastic because with that greater energy, there's greater healing. And here's my point. The points release. So when you hold an acupressure point, okay, this point's right here. When you hold this point right here, you want to hold it at just the right level, and you want to breathe deeply. That is a very important component for self-treatment and also for treating or for working with others. Okay, now at this time in our seminar, in our working together, I really don't want to hold back because I'm presenting to you the ancient secrets of traditional Chinese medicine, hands-on. And with that, when I started to prepare for this webinar that we're doing right now, I found there's more than 5 secrets. So I don't want to hold back. I want to give you more secrets. I want to give you more connections for healing the body. So the next connection is that there are certain acupressure points that open up and balance certain emotions. Certain acupressure points that balance the spirit in the body. What is the spirit in the body? It's our ability to have wonder in our life, to have light in our eyes, to have inspiration, to have creativity, to be able to channel and express our love and our inspiration, and have inspiration for what we want to do in our life, and carry that through in a way that makes a difference in our lives and with the people in our community, and people who know us, our friends, our family. This is so important. Don't you see that when the points release, and that there's certain points you can learn. Here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this dot off and put a point right here. Let's see. I don't feel like that's there. There we go. See that point right there? So I want you to feel for it. Use your opposite hand and feel for the upper part of your chest. Now, feel the ball. This is a ball joint. It's like a tennis ball here. Circle it, feel it, and then in the center of it, if you go off of it, it goes right to the point. Here, I'm going to show you another way to get this point. And then I'm going to tell you how it relates to emotions, which is really beautiful and sacred. These teachings are sacred to me because they offer us ways that we can actually have an effect on healing ourselves and each other and uplifting our lives. This is what people need today. Man, this is so important. That's why I'm teaching this webinar. And I am going to announce to you that I'm going to teach another one for free. And I want you to tune in. And even this weekend, I'm going to be doing an interview that you can tune in. And it's kind of like when it rains, it pours, or there's a, and it's really pouring. So here we go. Here's the point, and there's another way to show you how to press it. Here's my armpit crease, and when I go like this, it goes right to the point. In other words, there's a curve, a natural curve from your armpit, and it kind of curves right to the point. Now this point is, here's my collarbone up here. I'm going to go in closer. Here's my collarbone up here, and it kind of goes upward. And if you go about 3 finger widths below your collarbone, you get to the point. In other words, when the edge of your finger is right up against the outer part of your collarbone, the point's right there. Now, here's how to really find, this is L, this is the first point on the lung meridian. Okay, now I'm trying to share with you specific and practical healing information. Now, how do you really find this point? You feel for it. You rub as you apply pressure. Okay, so I'm rubbing like this, and I'm feeling either for tension right in this area, or I'm feeling for sensitivity or soreness. Either one, you know, oh, that's the point. Now, this particular point is connected with the breath. So take a deep breath, and if you close your eyes and you explore taking deep breaths, let's say on your own, maybe not right now because we're going to go into a lot more information about acupressure therapy. This point actually opens up a person if they are holding on. They might be holding on to their grief. They might be holding on to their expectations. They might be holding on to a job or a project that is, it's just not happening. So, you know, we all tend to, and when there's a holding, it may be a holding on to possessions, or holding on to a relationship that really isn't working. There's so many possibilities in life. This point is actually called the letting go point. So it's a very important emotional healing point. Okay, now with emotional healing, and this was the 6th secret, the points relate to emotional healing. The points also relate to, there's certain points that I can teach you that open up the spirit in the body, that make a person feel more alive. That's what spirituality is. It's feeling connected with something greater than just, oh God, this is just a boring day. You know anybody who's ever said that? I mean, it's like, life is so exciting and full when your energy is flowing through your body through these points. Remember, where does the energy get blocked? And how do you release it? It's all related to acupressure. The points are where the energy in the meridians and in the energy flow gets blocked. Like this, right here. This point right here. When this point gets blocked, physically, we start getting tense and maybe irritable and difficult to breathe. You know anybody who's a shallow breather? This point is blocked. It's as easy as that. Now, what I do is I hold this point here, and I also hold the other side right here. And I haven't put a dot on it, but you want to rub to feel, oh yeah, there's a knot there. And oh, when I press the knot, and when I breathe into it, yeah, I feel a little soreness in there. I feel it kind of connects with it. Now, curve your fingers like that. Like that. And it's using the pads and pressing in slowly. You are rubbing to start with, just to feel, okay, where is it? Because remember, each point is different. Okay, let's go on. Now, this is a more sophisticated secret in working with yourself and with others. Once the energy flows through the body and it releases, and there's a lot of different ways to stimulate the healing energy, to release it. You can do it through exercise. You can do it through stretching, like yoga. You can do it through deep breathing. You can do it through visualization, like hypnosis. You can do it through acupressure. There's not just one way to release this system of healing points. But it's so important to learn where these points are and what they're good for. And for yourself, and this is what I'm focused on in this fall, I'm going to be focused on teaching, I hope you, how you can heal yourself. And that involves certain ways to use your body so that you get the points and you don't stress out. Because sometimes people are trying to get the points and they're just like, they don't know the art of self-acupressure. So I'm going to go in depth into that. I'm offering you 3 free acupressure videos, and above this, like right up here, you'll see a link. And if you haven't signed up, please click it. It definitely will ask for your email address because I want to send these 3 free videos. They're 15 minutes each. They're really well produced. I put a lot of time and energy into it. I know that if you like this webinar, you will love these videos and you'll learn a lot more from me. And it's free. So please give me your email address. I will never abuse it. I'll always treat it as sacred and private. I will never trade it or sell it. I will protect it. So I hope that you will get the 3 free videos because you'll learn so much more, and that's why I produce them and want to offer them to you. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, this weekend, I mentioned to you, I'm going to be doing an interview. So tomorrow I'm going to post down below a link that will enable you to sign up for the summit. I've been chosen to actually, it's good news. I've been chosen to speak at the online, it's called the Healing Body and Soul Summit. And it consists of 25 healers and teachers, and I'm one of them. And this weekend, I've been chosen to be interviewed, and I'll share with you a couple more acupressure points and teachings. So I hope you join me, and I think you'll like it. And please, please, please tell your friends that this is happening because we need more healing in our lives. And I want you to learn this. I'm hoping that you want to learn more. Okay, so is there a couple more secrets, even beyond the 5, that I can think of? Let's see. Well, I was telling you that the energy releases, but I didn't get to the secret. The secret is that there is a very strong channel that goes through the center of our body. Not only in the front that I'm showing you, but also in the back. all the way through the spine. And this is called the governing and conception vessels. And once the energy releases, a skilled acupressurist will go for these GV, governing vessel, and CV, conception vessel, points, because these are the points that balance all that energy. And that's what it's all about in terms of healing the body. So that's an important secret. Now here's another secret. It has to do with what we call trigger points. Like for instance, here's a trigger point. A lot of people know this point, right? This is the 4th point on the large intestine meridian. It is forbidden during pregnancy because it triggers the flows of energy so that the energy can flow down. And if you're pregnant, then you don't want the energies to all flow down. Now, you would have to not just shake hands with a woman who's pregnant, because, you know, or let's say she's eating chopsticks and the chopstick is resting on this point, which does happen. It won't affect the baby and the pregnancy. But traditionally, this is a forbidden point to be acupunctured and for it to be stimulated strongly. Anyways, what I'm getting at with the next secret of acupressure is that there are points on the body that are keys of deep release. And if you simply hold them, you'll be able to open up these pathways. And that's why we've often referred to the acupressure points as trigger points. Because, and all this is based on the meridians, which I will be teaching in depth next year. 1 meridian each month. I've been doing it this year, and it's been so fantastic, so exciting. People are really getting the teachings. And when I ran a healing school, and actually I required that people learn the meridians. And so that's why I wanted to mention it to you, because it's one of the secrets, right? Okay, here's another secret, is how to release referred pain. What is referred pain? Well, if I have a pain that's in here, but it actually streams down my arm, or let's say I have a referred pain in my hip and it streams down my leg. These are just 2 examples, just many, many, many more. Or let's say a massage therapist actually presses this point, but presses it too harsh. And then I have a referred pain that goes into and actually starts to cause a headache. Now, massage therapists are fantastic. I'm not putting them down at all. In fact, you know, touch is so healing. And they've been gifted. And this is a sacred, massage therapy is a sacred vocation. And, oh God, it works so well with acupressure and reflexology, of course. So, these are some of the secrets of acupressure. And I just want to mention to you that in 2 weeks, I'll be giving another free webinar, but I'm going to be focused on self-care. It's going to be a self-treatment webinar. So be sure, one thing I want you to be sure of is to use the, right above, see where I'm pointing? Just above this, you'll see a link. And if you haven't signed up for the 3 free videos, I think you're missing something. And please share it with your friends. I've also want you to know that, and I'm really, really, really excited about this, if you want to go further in terms of really studying with me, I'm going to offer a 10-week acupressure self-healing training so that if you have clients, you'll be able to share how they can heal themselves. So important aspect of holistic health. Also, if you're interested because you either have aches and pains, or it's your energy, or you have certain ailments and symptoms, Now, if you have a medical condition, you need to see a doctor. No question. But if, let's say, and there's a fine line too, like for instance, this point here. If you have asthma, this is a fantastic point to know. Or difficulty breathing. So I want you to, go to the upper outer part of your chest, feel for the point. But what I'm going to do is in 10 weeks this fall, I'm going to take a group of people and I'm going to give you 50 short videos that cover over 100 common ailments. And you will have a resource that I'll enable you, if there's certain videos or all the videos that you want to download, if you're in the program, I'm going to give you permission to download them so you'll have them the rest of your life. I hope that you get that that my purpose is to heal. My purpose is to give and to share and to heal. So I send you blessings, and I just want to finish with sending you healing wishes.